Do you remember the last time that time just came to a screeching halt? I mean, everything was in slow motion. It probably wasn't a fun time. In fact, it's quite common for somebody in a really scary situation, a traumatic event, like a car accident or a child goes missing in a crowded place. Your perception of time really slows down. And there, in fact, is a good reason to focus your attention in a moment of life and death. What you're having for dinner or remembering to email that person back isn't of much importance if your life is in danger. But what if you could have that level of clarity of focus more often, not just in a moment of peril, but on an average day? I believe you can. And I'm certainly doing my best to calm down and have presence each day. And in case you're anything like I am and have too many responsibilities to count and not enough time each day, I want to share with you 3 simple practices to have more calm in your daily life. Today on the next Simple Step podcast, I'm Paul Goldsmith. As someone with 4 businesses, 3 kids, 2 cars, 1 wife, I certainly have plenty to do. But you know what? When I was a kid with none of those things, I thought I was the busiest person alive with school and then after school programs and soccer and church and volunteering. I was in the Civil Air Patrol. I had never known a time when I wasn't particularly busy. But now in my 40s, I finally got clued into the fact that life doesn't slow down automatically. In fact, it seems to speed up. Certainly your level of commitments do, and your perception of time also increases. So the first simple practice that I want to share with you to slow down, especially if you want to enjoy the season of life that you're in, is a daily practice of morning pages. Here's why. With all the responsibilities you have, your mind likely has a tendency to race about all the stuff that you have to get done. And the act of writing it all down, getting it off your mind and onto paper, is freeing. It gives you a little space between the activity of your mind and the moment that you're in. And it's certainly uncomfortable at first because you don't even know where to start. It seems silly that you're busy to the max and now you're spending more time just writing and not doing. Think about it this way. If you were charged with a serious crime and facing life in prison, doesn't matter if you're guilty or innocent, but we'll just assume you're innocent. Would you want your lawyer to rush to court with the first defense argument he could think of on the way? Or would you prefer he or she sit down, review the facts of the case, similar cases, and persuasive arguments, and think deeply about the best possible defense for you? Of course, you'd prefer the slower, more intentional defense strategy. You are your own public defender, and the world is coming at you every day with charges and accusations of what you should be like and what you should do and where you should spend your time and your money and your resources. For you to have a shot at having presence and slowing down, you have to take the time to decide what's important to you. Where do you want to spend your time and resources and energy? And where do you need to let yourself off the hook or renegotiate arrangements with other people? What have other people put on your task list that didn't belong there in the first place? Taking a daily audit of all the things that are cropping up for you that are creating anxiety and really preventing you from being present, that's essential. There are some days that I just hit the ground running and don't stop, and I do feel a difference. And so I would say we're not going for perfection here. We're just going for consistency over time. So if you miss a day, just start again the next day and do it first thing in the morning when you're fresh and you're not already stressed out. Get it all out. And then once you have that practice, the second simple practice that I want to share with you, it's simply to move your body and get outside. There are studies that show just seeing the horizon literally opens up your perspective. I'm a big believer in getting sun, even though many of us are taught to hide from the sun. Every living thing needs light to thrive and survive. And not only is being outside in the sun essential for your physical health, but also just being outside for your mental health. There's this field of psychology called skycology, led by Paul Conway at the University of London. And this is just fascinating. Conway wrote this research paper called The Extraordinary in the Ordinary, Skycology, an interpretive phenomenological analysis of looking up at the sky. In that paper, Conway writes, given the unprecedented rise of global urbanization, widely acknowledged as one of the most significant health issues of the 21st century, global urbanization has significantly reduced the frequency and quality of interactions between humans and their natural environments, with research suggesting on average less than 10% of each day is spent outdoors in many affluent industrialized countries. Crucially, and unlike green and blue spaces, the sky is always on, unbound by geography or urbanization, and available to virtually everyone. A significant body of research suggests interacting with nature positively impacts health and psychological well-being. There are three prevailing theories within the field of eco-psychology that he highlights. First, attention restoration theory, or ART, suggests that natural environments elicit an involuntary attention in humans, a passive state requiring little or no effort, and through this effortless, soft fascination, it replenishes the reserves required for effort-driven, directed attention. Second, stress reduction theory, SRT, proposes that natural environments can enhance both positive affect and stress recovery, with their restorative effects triggered when we experience emotional change. The simple act of viewing a natural vista can have an immediate effect on a person's psychological and physiological functions, rapidly lowering stress levels. Third, and finally, the biophilia hypothesis proposes that we have a biological and emotional need to connect with other forms of life. Gathering extensive knowledge about the natural world satisfies a primary psychological need of autonomy and mastery, while enhancing mental, emotional, cognitive, and spiritual development. If you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're anxious, you need to calm down and slow down. Get outside. It's free and it works. And that leads to my third simple practice for bringing more calm. Stop trying to manage time. It doesn't work. What's a better strategy is energy management. Energy management. When do you have the most energy? For me, it's definitely first thing in the morning. I want to make sure that I protect that morning space to avoid unnecessary meetings or things that are going to suck my energy dry. And that goes back to the first practice of the morning pages, identifying what those energy drags are and how can I eliminate them or at least delay them till the afternoon. Save the times when I have the most energy for the most productive, the most exciting, the most valuable activities. Assume you only have the time to do 3 activities a day on your to-do list. Of course, you're going to do hundreds of things, make thousands of decisions, but what are the 3 most essential activities to move your goals forward, the things that are going to generate more energy and excitement for you? And make sure you prioritize those 3 things every day when you have the most energy, and then the other things will fall into place or fall off if they're not that important. And the key isn't to get everything done, it's to get the most important things done. And if everything's a priority, nothing's a priority. We've all heard that before because it's true. I hope this has been helpful to you. If you'd like to talk more or really take a look at how you can best manage your energy in a given day, reach out. I'm at nextsimplestep.com. You can schedule a free discovery and coaching call, or on Instagram and X, I'm Paul J. Goldsmith. And until next time, get some sun, go for a run, and have fun. Thank you for listening.